So is something biblical happening? Now, something big. I mean, we talk about, just this week, earthquakes, flooding, things that they've never seen, persecution on certain individuals, which we'll talk about. We're seeing just crazy panic in the market and financials. It's just crazy times. Now, does that mean it's biblical? Does that mean it's coincidental? I don't know. But let's discuss it, because that'll help us understand the wisest way through it. We're preparing and taking care of our families and trying to be wise about it and trying to have a common sense approach. Let's jump into it. Today's video starts right now.
About to leave.
Hey guys, welcome to the Max. Thank you so very much for being here today. If you are new to the channel, go down here, press subscribe, ring the bell, give us a thumbs up. That sure does help us, and it sure means a lot to us. Just got done running. It's been a long morning already. Crazy day, because it looks like we're supposed to get some rains here in the south. Now let's discuss something right before the video. We have the giveaway that we talked about yesterday, and we talked about the shockwave and how important it is, but also the giveaway. Today we're doing another giveaway, and we'll discuss that in just a few moments. Now, let's get into the video. So with something biblical happening. Now, I'm not the one to say that. I'm no prophet by any means. It could be just strictly coincidental. But let's talk about a few things. So we saw flooding in Dubai. Now, Dubai does not get any rains. I think it's like 5 inches a year. I mean, it's practically desert. But lately they've been playing a little bit, finagling a little bit in the skies and doing a little seeding. Now, is that seeding causing all this rain? Maybe they wanted a little rain and all of a sudden it was flooding. Now the question is, how far can we as humans push it to a point where we realize we're not God? And I think that this is a God complex. I believe that we seeding the skies, putting clouds, putting rain, putting, us trying to enforce our way on the atmosphere probably is not good for the climate, by the way, for all you people who believe that. But when we do that, what are we actually causing? They may have wanted a little rain and all of a sudden they got catastrophic rain. It's flooding. They can't even hardly fly into the airports because of the flooding they're feeling in Dubai. So we're seeing flooding. Is it caused by man, or is it caused by man trying to be God, and then all of a sudden God's like, I'll show you something. I'll show you real rain. That's a question. Now let's talk about the earthquakes. Japan just had another earthquake. Now this is like the 3rd or 4th earthquake in just a few weeks that's been pretty big. These are not just smaller earthquakes. Now also there was an article that came out kind of after the April 8th solar thing, which kind of shed some light on Antarctica and some of the things that are going on there. There was a whistleblower just over the last few years talking about how some of our defense contractors could maybe move the grounds. So again, while we try to do something, actually what we're doing is we are trying to play God, and it's not working. So we're seeing another situation where a lot of chaos is happening because of earthquakes. Is it because of man, or is it because of the fact that there's just natural disasters happening? Now that's just natural disasters. Did you see yesterday they came out with a robot that is now able to do so much more? They showed it on Twitter. You can find it. I don't even know the name of the robot. But it was this AI generated robot that was actually maneuvering and moving his body in all different ways to ultimately almost not be able to be destructed. They said that the new innovative technology in this robot is going to change the world. Now the question is this: every person that commented and everybody was pushing funding for this thing is just like clapping their hands. We're trying to build these new humanoids. Are we building this God complex to where we can make man, or we can make something better than man? Because God made a flawed man. Now we're going to make a perfected man. All of a sudden gold's going up, which usually means there's a financial chaos coming. Bank of America and some of the biggest banks came out and said some of their numbers are way down. They actually lost a lot of value. Another thing that was done is not only do you see our financial market starting to struggle, which again, signs of worse times for America, but Bank of America also took Mr. Eastman, which is tied to Trump, tied to a lot of conservative Christian groups. They debanked him. They wouldn't allow him to bank there. USAA, which is, again, something that supports armed forces and veterans, just debanked him. So we're seeing the persecution on conservatives and Christians. Again, kind of things that we would see biblically happening as we get closer to harder times for Americans, but also harder times for the world. Now, I just threw a lot at you. All of it could be just completely coincidental. but also there could be some more things to it. Now, before we go any further in the video, I want to share this giveaway that we're going to be doing, and also our sponsor of today is Opus Solar. The sponsor of today's video is Opus Solar. Opus Solar has some phenomenal rates and some savings going on right now. Today is a launch of what they call the Exodus 600. Now, not only the Exodus 600, and we'll talk a little bit about that one, but this Earth Day promotion is going from the 15th to the 24th. During this promotion, it will be at the lowest price solar that you can purchase, especially from Opus, when it comes to making sure you have what you need just in case there's a storm, just in case there's an emergency, just in case you just want to go fishing or camping or have alternative energy as a prepper's supply. These are some phenomenal deals. So let's go over some of the deals right quick. The 1200 watt unit is $409, which is 42 cents per watts hour. The 1800 watts is $499, which is 34 cents per watts hour. The 2400, $799, which is 36 watts hour. That's some of the cheapest prices that you'll get. Mega 2, Mega 3, Mega 5, all those units, which are the bigger units, all are at very special pricing along with the discounts. Some of the best savings that you will get when it comes to solar energy. Now let's talk about the giveaway, something that's so phenomenal. We are doing a launch today of the Exodus 600. This is their little backpacking unit. It only weighs 8 pounds, a little over 8 pounds, so anyone and everyone can carry it, even your children or your spouse, and you can utilize this as a carry-on in your bug out. Camping, we put it in our boats and we'll be able to charge our phones. It is a great addition to your supplies. It has a 3-year hassle-free warranty that will help you just to make sure that it's safe, doing what it's supposed to do, and if it's not, Opus has some of the best customer service there is. 6-in-1 power solutions makes up this unit. It is so versatile and it can be used in so many different ways for any age, for any person. And again, it allows you to know that you've got some alternative energy to get some things charged when you may not have the grid. It is 30% less in weight than the norm when it comes to the industry standard. So it is 8 pounds. It allows you to be able to throw this thing in the truck, go where you need to go, get it quick, on the go easy, and you can take it and put it just about anywhere. We use it on our side-by-side, we use it on our four-wheeler, we use it on our fishing boat, and then our kids will use it when they're playing music by the pool. I'm gonna be giving one of these away in just a few days. But not only that, Opus Solar is going to be giving away 20 of these units in this launch. Now let me tell you how to get involved and how you can get signed up away, and it costs nothing. To participate in the giveaway, you need to subscribe to the Opus YouTube channels and then comment below where you would take the Opus Exodus. So go to their channel, click on their new pre-launch, which is the Exodus 600. Comment below that you would love to take the Opus Exodus. The 20 lucky winners will be announced in just 2 days on 4/20. For more details, go to their YouTube channel, check on their community section of Opus, and not only subscribe to it, but check out some of the other specials they're offering. These are some game changers when it comes to being a prepper, a homesteader, or someone who wants to be sustainable. And one more benefit, subscribe and get the early bird discount, 10% off. Now that special is only good for the next few days. You have 4 days to get that special if you want in the pre-launch and you want to get the better discount on the Exodus 600. I have 3 of these things. We have them and use them all the time. You'd be surprised how much you will use this and how much of an asset it will be for you. What means a lot to me is that these companies come in and they say, hey, we want to give something away to your audience. That's awesome. This is one of those companies that I believe in, I really like. I have several other versions and other companies that I've utilized. The one thing I like about this one is the customer service with Opus, the versatility, and the fact that it is lightweight. This company would be phenomenal. Check out the smaller units such as this new one in this pre-launch for Earth Day, but also check out some of the sales on some of the other units. Thank you, Opus, for sponsoring today's video. Back to these stories. Is all this just coincidental? It could be. I think it comes back to this though. As humans, we are flawed, and we know that. We have a finite mind. We're trying to understand infinite wisdom that God gives us. So we have a beautiful earth, and we're trying to figure out how to either save it, corrupt it, do better for it, or cause wars on it. And so all these things that we've talked about, from war to the humanoids with the robots to the fact of these earthquakes and floods, it seems like it's all people putting their input into trying to build this new God complex, trying to take over what God has created, trying to take control of things that they probably should not be in control of. The question I ask is, how far are we willing to take it as humanity? How far are we willing to seed the clouds? How far are we willing to go with escalations of wars? How far are we willing to take this robot situation or AI generation? I think there's just a lot of questions there that we need to answer. Not only that, we're destroying our food system at the same time. We're saying, okay, you know, cows are no good, gardens are no good. You don't need to grow that kind of stuff. You need to be able to use this modification because it will allow these crops to make it and these animals not to hurt it, these insects not to hurt it. I will give you a perfect ear of corn. I'll give you a perfect soybean. Get rid of all this other heirloom stuff. So again, we're taking the fact of what God created with these seeds, and now we're making this man-made version of this genetically modified seed. What's actually happening? And I honestly believe we're almost seeing consequences of us trying to play God. I believe we're starting to see the ramifications of it. More sickness, more problems, more escalations of war, more natural disasters. The things that we wanted to be better, the things that we thought we were doing to get better as humanity are actually causing more problems, because I believe we're seeing the fact of man trying to not rely on an infinite God. For God to do good things on our earth, we look for a man to say, look, we got it. We're good. We've got it. So I think we're seeing the ramifications of some of that. I think about freedom and how important freedom is. At the same time, we hear people chanting death to America. In America, we have congressmen who will not denounce it. It came out that they interviewed almost every one of the squad members and several Democrats that said they would not literally condemn anyone for burning a flag, and they would not condemn the chants of death to America. That is not freedom. We're moving over the line of freedom to now we're threatening Americans. Now, is that all of a sudden, is that the same thing to do with earthquakes and flooding? No. What I'm saying though is now we're seeing the ramifications of us trying to change the world in our own image versus what God really wants. Now, I know that sounds crazy, and I may sound crazy today, but we cannot think that everything that's happening is pure coincidental. We may be seeing something biblical actually happening. I mean, we're seeing wars in the Middle East, again, over territory. We've been seeing that for years, but now we're seeing the biggest of escalations with two of the biggest players in the Middle East, something we've not seen. We have wars going on all across with bigger players such as Russia, such as China. Really, what is happening? If these things are happening, again, us as humans, we can't change any of that going on, because now we've taken it out of our hands of trying to be, you know, the one who does everything, the ones who don't rely on God, to where now we're needing God to intervene. Now, I would challenge you, I hope you have a prayer life. I hope that you are spiritually seeking God, because I don't believe that we can go through this. We can go through the sicknesses, we can go through the turmoil, we can go through the chaos and calamity that we're facing without a groundedness in faith. Now, that being said, also, God, just like He says He will take care of the sparrows still go out and gather food. The sparrows still go out and take shelter. God provides it, but ultimately they're doing their part. So I challenge you to do your part. Don't just be a sitting duck. Don't just say, well, God's going to take care of me. He is. But at the same time, He gives us smarts and He gives us wisdom to say, you have to sometimes do the things that I'm giving you the opportunity to do. You may need to put up some food. You may need to grow a garden. You may need to be a little bit more hands-on with your food system. You may need to figure out how to put up some gold, how to put up some cash, how to get out of debt. It's not about the things that you can't help, but the things that you can't help, such as the persecution of conservative Christians, such as the wars and earthquakes and all that, you can't do anything about, other than pray about it and pray to an infinite God, because we have so many finite people trying to play God. But when we realize that we can't do anything about it, of course, we reach out to Him, we pray, and we seek God for those things. But then we see guidance to say, okay, He gives us wisdom to keep on going on, keep on pressing on. So many times we get in comments where people say, well, gosh, I don't know if I can just keep doing this. This is just too hard. It's crazy. I don't want you to ever think that panic and chaos brings us to a point of just saying, well, we just got to sit and give up. I don't ever see that. So we don't need to put ourselves in that precarious situation to where we believe that harder times just makes us give up. Harder times should make us push through, press on, and get through whatever we're going through. So my challenge for you today, are we seeing something biblical? Possibly. Are we seeing something completely coincidental because man is dumb? Because we think we're smart and we're trying to play God and all of a sudden we're doing all this? Possibly. Can you help any of it? Not really. But what you can do is you can learn from it. You can find wisdom through it. Of course, you can find the spiritual healing of knowing that, you know, panic insets. So, but if we rely on Christ, it will be okay. We'll rely on our faith, it'll be okay. But then through that, we have to learn to say, okay, we're going to be resilient. We're going to press on. We're not going to give up. We're going to do, you know, we're going to try to do some things like prep. We're going to try to do some things like prepare. We're going to try to do some things to take care of our families and make sure our kids understand the value of hard work, of saving money. You know, we're not going to worry about what the school system's teaching them. We're going to homeschool. We're not worried about what, you know, this liberal woke church is teaching. We're going to go to a conservative church. We're not going to listen to this politician because most of them lie to us anyway. We're going to try to seek guidance from people who are actually walking the walk and talking the talk. It all comes down to you. When we see humans failing, when we see people that have God complexes like some of our billionaires who think they can change the world based on, you know, giving you fake meat, when we see sickness, when we see outbreaks, when we see earthquakes or floods, all this could be is just man screwing up. But ultimately, if we rely back on the fact of God's grace and then also the wisdom He gives us to press on, we will be okay. So something big could be happening. Something biblical could be happening. But ultimately, that could play in the favor of people who are conservative Christians who are wanting to see God's will prevail. And when we know that, that part's handled. So now it's like, okay, let's be the sparrow. Let's go out. Let's get what we need because God has provided for us to go get it. And then we'll look to Him for the rest. Guys, thank you for watching. Let me know what you think. Also, check out our sponsor of the day, Opus Solar. They have some great deals. I personally have about 3 of their units. This new unit is going to be a phenomenal backpacker. It's light, and I will actually show you this on another video because I'm going to be giving one away myself this month. But then they're giving 20 away, so go subscribe to their channel and then go check out what they have to offer because they're a phenomenal company. Guys, thank you so much for watching. God bless. Happy homestead, y'all.